This is a 1-year review and operation video on the Ryobi 40v 18-inch brushless chainsaw model RY40508. I only have one issue with this item which I will go over later in the video, but I figure out a workaround for it, so overall I'm happy with this purchase. Before using, you will need to twist off this cap on the bottom left to add bar and chain oil so the blade will stay lubricated during operation. Aside from that, all you really need to do to start working with it is slide in a 40-volt battery, pull back on the hand guard along with the trigger release on the back, and then pull the trigger. It works just fine with both my 5 and 6 amp hour batteries, and when you're done, just push the hand guard forward and it will lock the chain and prevent operation. The case is well designed and seems very durable, so I haven't had any problems with it over the years that I've owned this. I only keep oil in this when I'm using it, which I will explain more about why later, but this is why I store a funnel along with an oil container in the case instead of an extra battery now. I just use a generic brand of bar and chain oil, take off the oil cap and pour it into the side of the chainsaw using this long thin funnel I keep with it. I watch the oil level on the front of the chainsaw as I fill it so I know when to stop pouring, and then once it's full, I put the cap back on and I'm ready to cut. So with my 6 amp hour battery fully charged and inserted into the chainsaw, I pull the hand guard chain lock back and begin cutting this branch up. Perhaps the most important thing to consider before going out to cut is how sharp your chain blade is. In my experience, it can take over 3 times as long to cut when you have a dull blade, so you might want to consider bringing a spare blade or 2 depending on how much you have to go through. The last thing you want to do is waste your battery charges with a dull blade, especially if you have to travel to do the job. The blade that came with this chainsaw ended up pretty dull by the time I was done with this tree, but I may have hit concrete or rocks when I was cutting it up. It started taking a little longer to cut, which ended up depleting my battery before I could finish, so I had to make another trip to clear this off my other property. The limited runtime should definitely be something to consider before purchasing, but not having to mess with an engine or a long cord makes up for that in my opinion. The biggest issue I have with this model is how bad the oil leaks, which is why I don't keep it in it. I thought maybe I got a defective cap or something, but there are other reviews that claim to have the same issue as well, so it might be a manufacturing defect or design flaw. So you might be able to find a really good deal on these if you're willing to just pour the oil back out when you're done with it, which is what I do every time. It's also why I have such a long funnel for this. My shorter funnel kept falling out when I tried to pour the oil back in the container. Hopefully this video has helped, and feel free to ask any questions that you still may have in the comments. Thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe for more quick and on-point videos.